would say inadvertently being accomplices to the terrorist networks. And Operation Saavdhan was aimed at that. Now, it is a multi-dimensional approach which we had to take. And obviously it has three partners. We've talked a lot about PPP. All of you might have heard of public-private partnerships. But here we're talking about PPCP, which is public-private community partnerships. So getting the community angle is extremely important. Of course, the police has to be there. There have to be institutional partners, especially I'm seeing so many students over here all in uniform. It's very important for educational institutes to be a partner of the drive. And as Dr. Kalam had earlier stressed as well, that the role of media in any sort of citizen awareness or any other operation against terror is critical. So those are the three factors which are very critical. Now, essentially the Operation Saavdhan is, to put it in a nutshell, is a training program, essentially, which is followed by evaluation, which is followed by follow-up courses, which is, how do you make learning effective? Now, this comes out of research which we did with sample surveys and focus group interviews. Essentially, it should be interesting. It should be relevant. Now, this is important because you have so many elements of society, you know. The children, there are schoolgoers, then there'll be professionals, and if I may call, there are veterans, and then there are men in uniform, women in uniform. All those people have different exposure levels to the society, and hence it's important to make it relevant to each. Then the impact should be measurable, and it has to be followed up with a revision mechanism. And that's exactly what we are trying to achieve in the kind of course content which we decided with the Operation Saavdhan. Now, you see, we kind of divided the entire learning into 4 modules. Now, one is, of course, knowing about terrorism, which is not really action approach, but it is, you know, as a young man, I can tell you it's cool to know about your adversary. You know, if you are fighting against terror, you got to know about terror first. So we decided in the first module to talk about the different kind of terror things which are happening. The second module is pre-terror. So before an attack happens, what are the kind of things which you can, as an ordinary citizen, take care of to ensure that you don't end up harboring terrorism in your neighborhood, or you don't end up being inadvertent accomplices to terror attacks. That's the awareness part. That's a pre-incident. And correct me if I'm wrong, but research shows that most of the terrorist strikes, if citizen can make an impact, it is at this level. Then acting in the face of terror. Now, we of course will strive for a terror-free society, but we also have to live with the possibility that we might not be able to eliminate it completely. And there may be occasions where we would be caught up in a situation such as this. Now, our analysis was that, and we did a survey on that, is that most of the people are completely unaware of what to do. For example, let me give you an example. We went over the survey. We asked, all of you might have come across a fire extinguisher. Fire extinguishers have something like an A, B, C, D. How many of you know what A, B, C, D stands for? Please raise your hands. Okay, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 12. A dozen people in this room are aware that what does ABCD stand for. Let me tell you. A is a water-based fire extinguisher. B is used for petrol-based fire. C is for chemical. C is for electrical, and D is for chemical. Now, that's the kind of awareness that people lack. Imagine if a person is caught in a terror strike and there's fire around it, how will he ever react? He might end up harming himself. So it's important to know what to do in case a terror strike does happen. Then, and how do you ensure that people around you are also safe? And the fourth aspect which we want to talk about, which came across actually from the inputs of the police itself, was that a lot of people don't know how to help. They want to help. It's not that any one of us don't want to help, but we don't know how to help. And in the process, we sometimes end up destroying evidence, which is also a major problem in investigation. So we wanted to tell people that what exactly, even if you're I'm not a direct victim of terror, but it's my fellow Indians, and I want to reach out to them. What are the best ways to do it without destroying evidence? Now, the format You see, it was important to have a format where retentivity was maximum. It is important to have a format where replicability is maximized, and hence the cost would go down. So we focused largely on video and presentation based. You see, video also has something more. We analyzed that India is we all know that India is a land of diverse cultures. Now, each culture, which is probably residing in each state, has to represent itself differently. How do you tackle terror would be determinant of what kind of culture the state has. And videos can capture that culture. So we decided to go with videos and presentation mode. Also, since we were looking at a peer-to-peer learning, which is a citizen-to-citizen learning, it was important to have something which is self-explanatory. The rest is more like the kind of schedule we decided for the day of training. But let me come to the point of customization. Now, as I told you, each person has a different role to play in society. A child of 11 to 16, which is a school student, has a completely different exposure level to the society, looks at people differently, looks at different kinds of people than someone like a college student once you get into college, or a housewife who would probably be in her residential areas and would be the best person to look around what's going around the society. And then a veteran audience of 55, 60 plus, which have a completely different culture and a different exposure level. And people gave us input that don't tell us trash. Don't tell us things which we can't act on. If I can't do it, then there's no point telling it. Tell what is relevant to me. And hence we distributed this entire syllabus in the form of curriculum design in the term of the way it is delivered and the way it is evaluated and the incentives which you give for citizen to teach further more people of their age. We had to customize it accordingly. Now, something which we devised, which is called Terror Preparedness Index, which is essentially a real-time and relevant evaluation for the terror preparedness of a citizen. One of the questions I just asked. Right, it is a scientific method of analysis called Terror Preparedness Index, which was prepared by students and a couple of faculties who are helping at IIM Ahmedabad with inputs from experts. It measures the efficacy of the trainee under simulated real-life terror incidents. Now, this is important because questions which are blunt really make no impact. They're not retained. So we decided to work on a case mode. IIM Ahmedabad is famous for case studies. So we also, the evaluation is also like a case. So it's like you enter into a hotel building and XYZ thing happens. What do you do? Option A, B, C, D. And then it moves on. The story keeps moving. And that's why the person feels as if it's a simulated exercise. So we designed that entire course curriculum with this TPI index quiz. And the emphasis was on